Good morning, everyone. Okay, let me know. I think I'm live. I'm just going to get the comments up in my group in case anything is happening over there. Just give me 1 second. So today I want to do a mini training that's a combination of strategy and tech because I only went live once this week and I owe you 2 more technically, but we're going to combine Wednesday's strategy and Friday's tech into one because I'm working on a project at the moment and I had some thoughts and some tips that I could give out, so I really wanted to come on and share that today. Okay, I can see I'm live in the group. I've got the comments up in case I need it. So let's get cracking. So what I want to talk about today is what to do when the tagging system that you have in your email service provider is a complete mess. If you don't know what those tags are for, when they were created, who these people are, because they've not been named properly and very clearly. So I want to give you some pointers, and if you are creating a new system, if you are migrating, how you can set up a tagging system from day one that actually works for your business. And if you are not migrating because you love the provider that you're with, I want to share some tips with you on how you can still tidy up your account. So that's what we're going to do today. I hope we're not getting interrupted. We had a little bit of a doodah last night at my house because the ceiling in our back hallway by the back door actually crashed down. There was a bit of a crack on it and it's all fallen down about 10 p.m. last night with a big massive wallop. So I'm waiting for the maintenance guy, so I hope he doesn't turn up right now, which is why I'm doing the training a bit earlier than I planned, just in case that we don't get interrupted. Okay, so why is it important that your tagging system and your ESP and your CRM and your sequences, campaigns, whatever they're called, are named properly? Here's what often happens. People set up their email service provider, their CRM, and they get really excited about using this new tool. So they start plugging information in, they import their subscribers, they create new sequences. And the longer that account is in use, the more messy that gets when there wasn't a clear system put in place that's going to be followed from day one. So what happens is there is a tag that says click link to sales page or something like that, but it won't even say which sales page it was, which launch it was. There's no other information. So actually you have no idea who these people are, which link they click to which sales page for which program. And if we don't do regular housekeeping in our accounts, which I know like a lot of my clients don't do, I have somebody that I've been telling for a long time we should do some housekeeping, but I know it's not always top of your priority list, but here's what happens. So you want to ramp up your business, and particularly when you get to the point where you have a business that's, close to the 6-figure mark, but it's not going across the 6-figure mark. So you want to implement some new marketing strategies. You want to be more organized with your launches. You want to target people much better with sales copy in a launch as a follow-up based on the actions that they took. The problem is that the existing system in your account is not supporting you to do that. So when you're actually coming to running ads, taking on a whole bunch of new clients, if you want to hire somebody to help you with sales, if you have a business where you actually still phone people, to book follow-up consultations and all of that. If you don't have a system in place to monitor those people, everything will just start slipping through the cracks. So it's really important that when you are focusing on business growth, particularly at that level, that you go back and you really assess your business systems and you assess whether they are working for you, and you also assess your tools, because that's one thing I notice an awful lot. When we're starting out, we are happy to pay for 4 tools that cost $20 a month, but we're not happy to pay for that one tool that could replace all of those 4 tools that cost $97 a month, because we perceive it to be very expensive. So we want to make sure we get our value's worth. So instead of investing in that one tool that can solve all of our problems, we start hacking together how to get your registration form from your Demio webinar. Oh, sorry, the lights in here flicker too. This is an awesome house. That's what you get for really old houses. They do weird things at times, like crash your ceiling down. So basically you want to assess that one tool is worth your investment if you're going to A, not pay for 4 other tools, and B, you're not going to waste hours trying to get your Demio webinar sign up form to embed correctly in your lead pages, and then you can't design it properly so you don't like how it looks and all that stuff. So you have to start hacking your way around, and you waste an awful lot of time, you waste an awful lot of resources and mental space on all of this rubbish. So you're actually much better just investing that money into that one tool that's just going to connect everything, but it has to be the right thing for your business. So If currently you feel a little bit overwhelmed with your systems and you feel like you're wasting your time, take a step back to pen and paper or your Trello board or your Asana setup and start mapping out some of those business systems that you do have, like your onboarding process. How can you automate more of that? Your sales follow up, if somebody has a discovery call with you, when do you follow up? Who follows up? How is that allocated to you? So do take some time if you want to get across that 6-figure mark to actually assess this properly. Okay, so let's dive into the actual content. So I want to first of all cover migrations to a new service provider or setting up a new account from scratch because it is a little bit easier. And then I want to talk about what to do if you have no intention of leaving who you're with, but you do know that your account needs some serious housekeeping. So I'm going to try share my screen. I've actually never done that in Ecamm before. So if anyone is on... Oh, somebody popped on and left. Ooh, sorry if I scared you. I did try and get my hair sorted out. So I'm going to try and share my screen. If anyone's here, let me know if you can see that once I bring up my laptop. Hang on, where are we? Tagging system. This is what I wanted to be looking at. Oh yeah, actually I get a little preview and you can see my screen. So that's fabulous. So, I encourage you to create a spreadsheet where you're going to be documenting your ESP, CRM, whatever it is that you're doing, where you're going to be documenting your setup. I'm going to ignore this column for now because we are talking about setting up a new account. So we're going to focus on this bit and we're going to add some more here to the end. And then we're going to look at what to do if you already have an account that you want to keep, but you do need to tidy it up and you need to get rid of some things. So most ESPs and CRMs have the same thinking behind them. There is normally a set of tags that can be allocated to each subscriber, and then those certain tags can be put together in some kind of group. So in some service providers, these are called groups, in some these are called segments, and in some these are called categories. What I'm talking about today doesn't really apply right now if you're using MailChimp because MailChimp doesn't use this tagging system. MailChimp puts the same subscriber onto 5 different lists and it makes it super hard to market to them and it makes it super hard to automate it, which is why I do not recommend that you use MailChimp, particularly not if your business is in a serious growth stage and you're wanting to do big launches, live webinars, sales sequences, retargeting ads, and then taking people to different pages. You need to know what your people are doing, and I don't find that very easy in MailChimp at all. So I don't work with any client that is looking at serious growth that is still on MailChimp. I recommend that they use anything else. And then we have a column to mark the reason why this tag has been applied to somebody. And this column fills up very quickly and it can be a right lifesaver. So I want to work through some examples of this and then talk about the different groups of people that you might have in your business. So when a new subscriber comes across you as a service provider or as an info product creator, it is likely that one of the first things that they do is sign up for a freebie. So they might download a checklist and a few other things. Okay, so let's say your business has 3 main freebies. If you are new in business, please do not get carried away creating 100 different freebies. I would focus on 2 or 3 key freebies that are amazing and super attractive to your ideal client. Don't get carried away spending all of your days creating freebies because freebies are good, but freebies don't sell anything to anyone afterwards. So don't waste your time on creating 100 different freebies. I remember I used to do that an awful lot and I think I wasted a shit ton of time on that. So let's say you have 3 freebies. And then you might have, let's say you're an existing business owner, you've been at it for a while, you've got a range of different products for different people. So you might actually send some physical products to people that you promote that they could purchase. So let's say you've got some swag on your website that you are selling. So I like to start any tags for things that can just be bought, that don't require a discovery call, that don't have a high-end involvement from you with purchase. I like to use the square brackets. I discriminate against curvy brackets and I have no idea why. And I like to use capital letters in there because when I scroll through a list of 150 tags, I like to have all of my freebies grouped together. I like to have all my purchases grouped together and I like to have all of my clients grouped together. So I like to use the capitals and the brackets because I don't get distracted by all the tiny details. I don't have to read all of that. If I scroll through the list and I quickly need to find all the purchases people could make, this makes it super easy for me. So let's say we have some products here that we're actually selling. That never works. Actually, I need to copy all of it anyways. So let's say we have 4 products that we're selling. That could be an online course that's self-study. There's no high-end involvement. It could be t-shirts for your brand that you're selling. It could be an ebook. It could be templates for something. Anything that people can just buy off the shelf as is, I normally label as purchase. Then we might find that we have some other things that we're selling. So we might have people, I can't stand spreadsheets. We might have people that we would label as our clients. To me, when I use the word client in an account, it implies that there is a close one-to-one or one-to-small group-ish relationship. So if somebody was to mention that person's name, I would know who they are because I've personally spoken to them. Whereas with purchasers, I wouldn't know the name of every single person that has purchased my ebook because I haven't got that close of a relationship with them. So client to me implies that this person is not just a customer that have bought something, they have a more intense relationship with you or your clients if you are doing this for other people. So I like to label it client and then say, for example, one-to-one coaching, or maybe it's a client in your 2018, what am I doing here? 2018-06 mastermind program. Or maybe the person is a client in your 2008-03 mastermind program. Or maybe you see how quickly these tags can multiply if you're offering the same thing to people over and over again. So what I like to do when I put dates down is I like to put them in this order with the year, the month, and then the day if I need to have the date. And we can do some more examples of that actually. I want this to be full of examples that you can actually understand what we're doing and how quickly this gets out of control when you have a bigger business that has a lot of things on. Let's say your client or you do regular webinars. So you might have a tag for each individual webinar. And then you might also record whether they attended or didn't attend because you follow up with them differently. And then if you do one webinar every 2 weeks, can you see that every 2 weeks you're gaining 3 new tags in your account? So suddenly this can spiral out of control very quickly. So if you don't have a specific system in place that allows you to track this and to know what this is all about, then your account within 3 to 6 months, if it's very active and you have a lot of different things going on, will be in a right state. And then it takes you so much longer because you have to invest time to tidy it up. So I like to make sure that when I name things, I name them in this way because the account is often sorted alphabetically from a tag perspective. So I know that I'll get all my purchases together in one place. I will have all my client tags together in one place. I'll have all my webinar tags together in one place and they don't get moved around. And if you label them like this, then they'll also be in descending order in date usually. So that helps an awful lot when it comes to keeping track of all of your webinar things. The one thing that I do want to say about tags is do not get carried away creating 100 tags. So it doesn't help when it says link to sales page clicked. So client 2017-12 mastermind tells me that that person reserved a spot on the December 2017 mastermind. I know what this is for. I don't even need to fill this out. However, link to sales page clicked. Was it the sales page for the coaching or for this mastermind or this one or for any of these products? I have no idea. So these ones, they mean something to me. This one doesn't. So you see how clarity is so important. So don't get carried away with creating a tag for every single thing that your subscribers do when they interact with your emails or with your landing pages and things like that. Why? If you do not want to market to people that clicked on the link to your recent blog post specifically, then there is no need for you to be creating a link trigger if you're using ConvertKit, and to be tracking those clicks if you are not going to use it. So only select carefully what information you want to keep recorded in the form of tags inside your account. This is really going to help you in the long term to just maintain that hygiene in a way. So then we will find that people often have the same types of, I'm actually going to leave that last one for a minute. Oh yeah, I'll add another tag for one of the categories there. Okay, so we often find that we have the same types of people on our email list. So most accounts allow you to group certain tags together into either a group or a segment or a category. It's the same thing, it's just different providers name it something different. So for example, I might say that anyone that signs up for a freebie, well, guess what? They're a lead in my business, right? Because I can try and market to them, I can nurture them, and maybe one day they'll become my customer. Then I might have a segment that is called customers, right? Because these people have just purchased something from me. And then I might have a segment that is called clients. And now my OCD is going to kick in. I had the sheet set to be in my font. Okay, so they might be clients, and the font's also a different size. See, over time you notice these stupid things and you're thinking like, why am I doing this? And then you might also have a category for all of your affiliates, because you might have multiple affiliates for different programs. Okay, so insert for below. Then sometimes you might want to label your clients, for example, where your one-to-one coaching is ongoing and it happens all the time and it's not a fixed group like your mastermind. You might want to actually create a tag that says former client one-to-one coaching, and then when they're finished their one-to-one coaching with you, you might want to tag them as this, and then you might want to create a bucket just to say where you can, you know, you might have different offers that you have former clients for. So that could be things like tutoring, it could be consulting, whatever it is. Like, let's just say you have multiple different ones. Then you create one bucket where all of your former clients go into. And you should have one of these buckets for each of the people that you are currently serving. Okay, because you might want to send your customers something different to your clients, and you certainly don't want to spam your affiliates with your lead nurturing, right? So it's important that you know who you can contact in your account at any one time to market to them in the right way. And then you would basically explain the reason for this tag over here, and you would do that for each of these. And every time you add a new tag, you need to be updating this document, particularly if you're doing a live launch. Then sometimes I also have temporary tags in an account, and those temporary tags, they don't have brackets and they will usually not be kept permanently in the account. And if they are going to be kept permanently, they have to start to fit into this system. So for example, when sometimes I set up welcome sequences for clients, and I do not want the people that are currently going through the welcome sequence to be getting any sales emails, newsletters, promos, because they haven't been onboarded yet, and I'm about to make them an offer in the welcome sequence and add some urgency because I want to get them to buy something. So I might apply a tag in the account that's welcome in progress. So when somebody joins the email list, they're going to get the tag applied that says welcome in progress. And then when they complete the welcome sequence, this tag is going to be removed in an automation. So these tags, I do not create any buckets for, because I don't need to be contacting those people differently, because I don't want to be contacting them, or these are just internal tags that I'm using to keep my automations running and to trigger things. And then these ones, people will never stay in permanently. These tags will stay on your email subscribers account permanently because they're almost like achieving a goal. So the goal was to get them to sign up to the webinar and they signed up. The goal was to get them to attend, they didn't attend. So I want to keep this information. These ones, this is completely irrelevant to me at this point, okay? I just want to know that the welcome is in progress, and that is it, okay? So that is how I would strongly recommend you set up your tagging system. It works for my clients, it works for me, hallelujah. Now, what do you do if you're migrating and you have a load of existing tags, or you are not migrating and you just want to clean up your account? The first thing you need to do is, and this is super boring, but let's call it tag name. You need to go through your existing account. I always do that. You need to go through your existing account and you need to create a list of tags. Just do not press these two buttons at the same time. You need to make a list of all of your existing tags in that account. And then I would recommend that you match your existing tags up with the new tag that you're going to be giving people on this spreadsheet. So if your tag currently is blah blah checklist, then you might want to consider that you rename that to freebie blah blah checklist. Okay, so map out the changes that need to happen, and then your action depends on whether you are migrating or whether you're just tidying up. If you are migrating, I would strongly recommend that you download the CSV file from your provider, and then you use the find and replace feature to replace the word blah blah checklist with freebie blah blah checklist. Okay, and the find replace, even if you have 50,000 subscribers, I mean the migration that I'm working on this week is about 20,000, and just mapping out the tags took me about 2 hours last night. So there is time commitment for this, but if you do it properly, you will be so much happier, because once you're in your new account, you can actually use it properly. So this is worth spending time on before you even touch wherever you're going to, okay? Do all of this preparation way in advance. So when you've exported your subscribers, use the find and replace to keep, to keep changing the old tags to the new ones. Go around and delete all of the tags that you do not need to use. What you can also try and do if you don't have too many different tags is you export people by tag, and it will make it easier to tidy all of that up, because you can just copy and paste a lot of the stuff over. So if you are not migrating and you need to change the tags inside your existing account, there's two things that you can do. The first thing is, some email service providers have really good bulk actions. So you should be able to search for the tag blah blah checklist and find all the people that have the tag blah blah checklist and remove one tag and basically apply your new one. In ConvertKit, you can just go and you can just rename the tag, and ConvertKit just changes it in the entire system. So that is super easy. If your email service provider makes bulk actions very difficult, then what you might want to do is export your people from your email service provider, make a safe copy, run another export in the way you need it, use that second file. Do not touch the first CSV file in case something goes wrong. Just keep it inside your Google Drive, put it away, say save copy, do not touch, like rename it. Then run another export, make a copy of that file, whatever you want to do, and then go and find and replace, find and replace, find and replace. Go into your account, delete all of the subscribers from your account and re-import them into your account under the correct tag. Okay? So there are multiple ways you can do this. There's a million ways to skin this cat, like we want to say. I'll come back on the screen now. Here I am. So please, if if you are looking at really scaling up your business, invest some time in actually getting this sorted. If you feel completely overwhelmed by this entire thing, don't worry about it. There's people like me that you can contact and ask for help to do it for you. There's people like me that can just help you with planning, whatever it is. If you have to do this for a client and you feel like you're completely overwhelmed, just drop me a message, because it can be done. It's just depending on the system that you're moving from to, how exactly you're going to do it is going to vary slightly. Okay, that was 25 minutes, not too bad, I guess. I'm going to go off and continue to work on getting my CSV file for that client tidied up, because there's a lot more work to do. So I will catch you later in the group. Drop me any questions that you have under this video. And if there's anything else tech strategy related that you want to know about that's been triggered by watching this, then give me a shout. And if you're watching this on YouTube or somewhere else, like the video, subscribe to my channel, drop me a message if you need anything, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and I'll catch you all later on. Bye. I can't turn it off. Bye now.